Look at me. Stop scrolling. Stop distracted breathing. Focus. You are currently harboring a parasite. It is not in your gut. It is in your social circle. It is sitting across from you at the dinner table. It is sleeping in the bed next to you. It is working in the cubicle adjacent to yours. You call them friends. You call them allies. You call them family. I call them latent threats waiting for a moment of weakness. Picture the scene. You just achieved something huge. You closed the deal. You got the ring. You transformed your body. You are vibrating with the high frequency of victory. You share this news with your inner circle. You look at their faces. They are smiling. They are clapping. They are saying the script. I am so happy for you. And you believe them. Because you are naive. Because you project your own simplistic morality onto a complex biological battlefield. You see the smile. I see the half-second delay. You hear the congratulations. I hear the drop in pitch at the end of the sentence. You feel the hug. I feel the rigid torso and the patting hand that signals get off me. You are blind. And your blindness is going to get you slaughtered. That person didn't smile because they love you. They smiled because social convention holds a gun to their head. But for 0.2 seconds before the mask slid into place, the truth leaked out. A flash of disgust. A twitch of the upper lip. The micro leak. It was there. You missed it. You missed it because you are desperate to be liked. You are addicted to the validation of others. You trade your safety for the illusion of harmony. And that is why you are the prey. You think your success inspires them? Wrong. Your success humiliates them. It holds a mirror up to their mediocrity. And now, deep in their reptile brain, a program has started running. A program called leveling. They need to bring you back down to the mud to feel safe again. They won't do it with a knife. Not yet. They will do it with sabotage. With gossip. With withheld information. With passive aggression. They are plotting your downfall while drinking your champagne. And it is not their fault. It is yours. It is your fault for exposing your neck. It is your fault for confusing proximity with loyalty. It is your fault for thinking that good intentions matter in the laws of power. Respect is not something you beg for. Respect is not something you earn through kindness. Respect is forced compliance. It is the recognition of a threat. If they do not fear the consequences of betraying you, they will betray you. It is simple math. So today, we are going to perform surgery. We are going to cut out the tumor of your naivety. I am going to teach you how to see the invisible. We are going to dismantle the 6 microsignals of hidden resentment. But before I give you the weapon, you need to understand the beast you are hunting. Let's enter phase 2, the diagnosis. You need to understand why this happens. Stop crying about why can't people just be nice. That is the language of losers. That is the language of the food chain's bottom tier. Let's look at the biology. Let's look at the neuroscience of envy. When you win, your brain floods with serotonin and dopamine. You feel like a god. But what happens in the brain of the person watching you win? Neuroscience is clear on this. When a peer achieves higher status, the observer's anterior cingulate cortex lights up. Do you know what that region controls? Physical pain. Your success physically hurts them. It registers as a blow to the gut. It registers as a burn. Evolution designed this mechanism for a reason. In the tribe of 150 people, resources were zero-sum. If you got the biggest piece of meat, that meant I starved. If you got the best mate, that meant my bloodline ended. Your elevation was a direct threat to my survival. So nature installed a defense mechanism, envy. Envy is the alarm bell that screams, destroy the rival or die. We are not living in caves anymore. But the hardware hasn't changed. The software has updated, but the motherboard is prehistoric. So when you get that promotion, Your best friend's amygdala sees a threat. They don't consciously choose to hate you. They are hijacked by their biology. They are zombies. 99% of the people around you are sleepwalking through life, driven by ancient impulses they do not understand. They are slaves to their serotonin receptors. When they see you climb the ladder, their status meter drops. Their brain panics. They need to restore the balance. They need to bring you down. This is the crab bucket theory. If one crab tries to escape the bucket, the others don't cheer. They pull it back down. Not because they want to escape, but because if you escape, you prove that they are stuck. You are the anomaly. You are the glitch in their reality that says more is possible, and they hate you for it. Now listen to me closely. The dangerous ones are not the open enemies. An open enemy is a blessing. An open enemy gives you a target. You can fight an open enemy. You can crush an open enemy. The dangerous ones are the incongruent. The ones who smile with their mouth but frown with their eyes. The ones who say good job with a flat tone. This creates incongruence. Incongruence is the friction between what they feel, hate, and what they must show, love. This friction creates heat. This friction creates the leak. They cannot hold the mask perfectly for long durations. The cognitive load is too high. To lie requires prefrontal cortex processing. To feel disgust is a limbic system reflex. The reflex is faster than the thought. That is your window. That split second where the hardware overrides the software. That is where we catch them. Most people look for hostility. The operator looks for the glitch. We do not listen to words. Words are cheap air. Words are tactical deception. We watch the machinery. We watch the pupil dilation. We watch the asymmetry of the face. We watch the timing of the reaction. If the smile comes 0.5 seconds too late, it is a forgery. If the eyes do not crinkle at the corners, the Duchenne marker, it is a forgery. If the upper lip raises slightly exposing the canine tooth, it is a threat display. You have been ignoring these signals. You felt them in your gut, didn't you? You felt that weird vibe at the party. You felt drained after coffee with that specific person. But you suppressed it. You told yourself, I'm being paranoid. They are my friend. They have been with me for years. Time means nothing. Parasites can live in a host for decades before they kill it. In fact, the longer they have been there, the more entitled they feel to your energy. Stop gaslighting yourself. Your gut instinct is millions of years of evolutionary data processing. It is smarter than your logic. If you feel like something is off, it is off. But feelings are not enough for a court of law. And feelings are not enough for a strategic purge. You need evidence. You need to verify the threat before you neutralize it. You need to run a diagnostic test on your circle. This is where we leave the realm of passive observation. This is where we enter the realm of active counterintelligence. We don't just watch. We provoke. We stimulate the subject to force a reaction. We are going to use a technique I call the barium meal. In medicine, you feed a patient radioactive liquid to see the blockages in their gut under an X-ray. In social dynamics, we feed the subject specific, calculated information to see where the resentment blocks the flow. We are going to trigger their envy intentionally. Not to brag, but to calibrate our radar. We are going to verify who is a zombie and who is a human. If they are a zombie, they get no mercy. They get cut off, or worse, they get managed. You are about to learn the 6 specific signals. These are not body language tips for dating. These are combat indicators. These are the red lights on the dashboard of a crashing plane. Once you see them, you cannot unsee them. Your world will become colder. You will realize how alone you actually are. But this loneliness is the price of power. It is better to be alone in a fortress than crowded in a slaughterhouse. Are you ready to see the truth? Are you ready to look at your best friend and see the enemy? Take a breath. Kill your empathy. Engage your analytical mind. Here is the protocol. Welcome to Phase 3, the protocol. We are done with theory. We are entering the field. This is your combat manual. You are going to learn the 6 specific leaks that betray a hidden enemy. But knowing them is not enough. You must know how to trigger them. Passive observation is for cowards. We use active measures. We are going to deploy the barium meal protocol. In intelligence work, you don't wait for a leak. You force the system to pressurize until it bursts. Here is the operation. You are going to craft a piece of high-stimulus information. A story of a massive potential win. It doesn't even have to be real. You are going to drop this information like a bomb into the conversation. And then, you are going to go silent. You are going to engage tactical stillness. You will freeze your face. You will lock eyes. And you will watch for these 6 signals in the high-definition slow motion of your mind. If you see even one of these, do not rationalize it. Mark the target. Signal 1, the snarl reflex, micro-disgust. This is the most primal signal in the human repertoire. It happens in less than 1/25th of a second. Watch the nose. Specifically, the levator labia superioris muscle. This muscle lifts the upper lip and wrinkles the nose. It is the same muscle a wolf uses to bare its fangs. It is the same muscle you use when you smell rotting meat. When you tell them you got the promotion, watch the bridge of their nose. Did it twitch? Did the upper lip jerk upward slightly? That is not an itch. That is biological disgust. Your success smells like rotting meat to them. They will cover it instantly with a smile. But the ghost of the snarl was there. Tactical counter. Do not react. Maintain the predator stare. Look directly into their eyes for a full 3 seconds. Force them to sit in the awkwardness of their own biological slip. If they blink excessively or look away, you have confirmation. Signal 2, the asymmetric mask, contempt. A real smile is symmetrical. It engages both sides of the face equally. A fake smile, a mask, is often asymmetrical. This is the hallmark of contempt. Watch the corners of the mouth. Is one side pulling up harder than the other? Is there a slight smirk tucked into the happy expression? This is called duper's delight. Subconsciously, they feel superior to you. They think you are a fool for believing their act. That asymmetry is their ego leaking out. It says, I am above you, even as I congratulate you. Tactical counter. Use the mirror void. Do not smile back. Keep your face completely flat, the gray rock face. When you deny them the reflection of their fake emotion, the asymmetry will become more pronounced. They will try harder to fake it, making the mask look grotesque. Signal 3. The dead eyes, orbicularis oculi failure. You have heard this before, but you are not looking closely enough. A true smile of joy engages the orbicularis oculi muscles. These are the muscles that orbit the eye. When they contract, they create crow's feet at the corners. The eyes narrow. The eyebrows dip slightly. But the resentful friend cannot command these muscles easily. They can command the mouth, zygomatic major, because that is under conscious control. But the eyes are the window to the limbic system. If the mouth is smiling, but the eyes are wide, alert, and flat, you are looking at a predator scanning for a threat. They are not happy. They are calculating. Tactical counter. Shift your gaze. Stop looking at their whole face. Focus your vision exclusively on the triangle of truth, the space between their 2 eyes and the bridge of the nose. Ignore the mouth entirely. Does the triangle look soft and warm? Or does it look cold and static? Trust the triangle. Signal 4. The pitch flat line, auditory leak. The voice betrays what the face hides. When we are genuinely excited, our vocal cords tighten. Our pitch goes up. Our prosody, the musicality of speech, becomes dynamic. Oh my God, that is amazing! High pitch, fast tempo. The resentful enemy knows the words, but they cannot fake the music. They will say, "Wow, that is so great for you." But listen to the pitch. It drops at the end of the sentence. It is flat. It is monotonic. There is a delay before they speak. That delay is the processing time required to load the supportive friend script. Genuine joy is a reflex. It has zero latency. Fake joy has a buffering time. Tactical counter. Use the silence trap. After they deliver their flatline, do not respond. Let the silence hang in the air for 4 seconds. Silence amplifies the incongruence. They will feel the lack of music in their voice and will start stuttering or over-explaining to fill the void. I mean, really, you worked so hard. The more they scramble, the more guilty they are. Signal 5, the narcissistic pivot, the spotlight heist. This is the behavioral signal. You drop your barium meal. I just hit 100K subscribers. They give you a microsecond of acknowledgement. Nice. And then immediately, "That reminds me, I was watching this video yesterday." Or, "Yeah, work has been crazy for me too. My boss just..." They pivot. They hijack the conversation and steer it back to themselves. Or worse, they steer it to a neutral topic to kill your momentum. They cannot stand the spotlight being on you. It burns their skin, so they move the light. This is not ADHD. This is status warfare. They are denying you the social reward of your victory. They are starving you of validation to weaken you. Tactical counter. Execute the spotlight return. Do not let them pivot. Interrupt them. "Wait, I wasn't finished. I was telling you about the subscribers." Physically take up space. Lean in. Force them to look at your success. If they get irritated or dismissive when you pull the spotlight back, they are an enemy. Signal 6, the specificity vacuum, vague praise. A true ally is invested in the details. "How did you do it? What did the client say? When do you start?" They want the data because they are vicariously living the win with you. The enemy gives vague generalizations. That's cool. Good stuff. You're lucky. Note the word lucky. That is the ultimate insult. It strips you of your agency. It attributes your success to chaos, not competence. They stay vague because details make it too real. They want to keep your success abstract, distant, and minimized. Tactical counter. The deep dive interrogation. Force them into the details. "You know, the strategy was complex. Do you want to hear how I structured the deal?" Watch them recoil. Watch them check their phone. They will physically withdraw because the details are painful to them. Their boredom is a mask for their envy. The protocol execution summary. You are not going to a dinner party. You are going into the field. Step 1. Prepare your barium meal, the news. Step 2. Isolate the target. Wait for a one-on-one moment. Step 3. Deliver the payload. Drop the news. Step 4. Scan for the 6 signals: microdisgust, asymmetry, dead eyes, flat pitch, pivot, vague praise. Step 5. Verify with silence, the 4-second pause. If you see the signals, the diagnosis is confirmed. The subject is infected. They are compromised. Now, what do you do with this information? Do you confront them? Do you scream at them? No. That is what a child does. An operator does not reveal he knows the spy is a spy. He feeds the spy disinformation. He uses the spy. And then, when the time is right, he cuts the line. But you need the mindset to do this. You need to ascend to a level where their envy cannot touch you. You need to close the gate. Let's move to Phase 4, the Ascension. Phase 4, the Ascension. The diagnosis is complete. You ran the barium meal test. You watched the micro-expressions. You saw the snarl. You heard the flatline in their voice. You felt the vacuum of their specific indifference. Now you know the truth. The person sitting across from you is not an ally. They are an anchor. They are dead weight dragging you down to the bottom of the ocean. So, what is your next move? Most of you, the weak ones, will want to confront them. You will want to scream, "Why aren't you happy for me?" You will want to have a heart-to-heart. Stop. That is the reaction of a victim. That is the reaction of someone who still craves their validation. If you confront a covert enemy, you give them exactly what they want. You give them a reaction. You give them drama. You give them a platform to deny, gaslight, and accuse you of being crazy. "I never said that! You're being sensitive." "I was just tired." Do not give them the satisfaction of a trial. An operator does not sue for peace. An operator executes a strategic withdrawal. You are going to perform an amputation, but you will use a laser, not a rusty saw. We call this tactical oxygen starvation. Fire cannot burn without oxygen. Resentment cannot survive without your attention. You are going to cut off their supply. You do not block them. Blocking is emotional. Blocking shows them they got under your skin. Instead, you are going to become the gray rock. You become boring. You become unreactive. You become a smooth, impenetrable surface that offers no grip. When they ask how you are, you say, "Fine." When they ask about your big project, you say, "It's going okay." You stop feeding them the barium meals. You stop giving them the details of your life. You turn off the information tap. Watch what happens. They will panic. They will sense the shift in power. They will try to poke you. They will try to provoke you to get the old you back, the one who needed them. But that version of you is dead. You have ascended. You must understand a fundamental law of human dynamics. Your success is a filter. It is designed to clog with the weak and let the strong pass through. When you lose friends because you leveled up, you didn't lose anything. You shed dead skin. You discarded a shell that was too small for your growing body. Do not mourn the parasite. Do not grieve the tumor. Celebrate the surgery. This is the price of the ascension. It is cold at the top. The air is thin. You will look around and realize there are fewer people here. Good. Crowds are for the mediocre. Crowds are for the sheep huddling together for warmth because they cannot generate their own heat. You are a generator. You are a reactor. You do not need their warmth. You need their respect. And if they cannot give it, they must be removed from your perimeter. This brings us to the final concept, the gatekeeper. You are the castle. Your mind is the throne room. Your energy is the treasury. For years, you have left the drawbridge down. You let anyone walk in with muddy boots and steal your gold. You let them graffiti your walls with their insecurities. You called it being open. I call it being defenseless. It ends today. Raise the bridge. Fill the moat with crocodiles. Post arches on the walls. From this moment on, access to you is a privilege, not a right. They must earn their way in. They must prove they are not carrying a hidden dagger. They must pass the micro-expression test. If they fail, they stay outside the walls. Let them freeze. Let them starve. Let them gossip about how you've changed. Wear that accusation like a badge of honor. You've changed. Yes, I have evolved. You have stayed the same. That is the difference between a predator and prey. Prey hopes to survive the winter. The predator hunts in the winter. You have been given the eyes to see the matrix of social deception. You have the tools to spot the leak. You have the protocol to starve the enemy. But do not mistake this defense for cruelty. True kindness requires power. A rabbit is not kind because it doesn't bite. It is harmless. A wolf that chooses not to bite is kind. You must develop the capacity for ruthlessness so that your kindness has value. If you cannot hurt them, your nice behavior is just submission. Get your teeth. Sharpen them. And then choose when to smile. Not because you have to, but because you own the room. The operator's call, You now have the knife in your hand. But having a weapon and knowing how to use it are two different things. What I just gave you is the defensive layer. It is the shield. It stops you from bleeding out. But you cannot win a war with a shield alone. You need the sword. You need the offensive protocols. You need to know how to not just read the room, but how to rewrite the room to your advantage. You need to know how to plant ideas in their heads that they think are their own. You need to know how to dominate the hierarchy without raising your voice. This level of psychological warfare is too dangerous for the public algorithm. YouTube will suppress it. Society will call it manipulative. I call it survival. If you want the unedited, raw, military-grade psychological tactics, the offensive psychology that allows you to control the frame, dictate the outcome, and dismantle your opposition piece by piece, click the Join button below. Enter the Operator tier. There are no moral judgments inside. There is no right or wrong. There is only who wins and who loses. There is only the butcher and the cattle. Decide which one you are. Click the link. I'll see you on the inside. End of transmission.